and welcome to our guest today. Hello, Maureen. How are you doing?
Hello, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Really grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's nice to meet you. Finally, I think we've been, playing a little tag here and there. So it's nice to finally meet you in person. Well, next to in person, as close to
Yeah,
in person as we can get. So why don't you
exactly.
start off by telling us where in the world you are?
Well, I'm in White Rock, City by the Sea, Greater Vancouver, Canada, and it's a beautiful sunny day. It's so bright that I have a little screen up here so I can see my computer screen and see you. And it's a gorgeous, beautiful, pure blue day, full of light, full
Oh
of
my goodness.
yes,
Right, right. And White Rock is amazing. I spent a lot of time there. I grew up on the West Coast, just in the Fraser Valley. So, yep, spent a lot of time by the ocean there and amazing fish and chips. I don't know if there's, yeah, I think it was called Coney Island. I really loved going there.
yeah.
So, right, right. It's like it's so nice to be, we're across the country from each other, but yet we can have this nice conversation together,
I
which is
know. It's
it's
amazing. It's amazing.
amazing.
I've even Zoomed with somebody in the top of the Andes, you know. How incredible is our technology and our world today? So connected. So it's
Right? It
beautiful
is
to
so
connect in
incredible.
to the Women's Wellness Network as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, why don't you start off by introducing yourself a little bit? Like tell us who Maureen is.
Well, Maureen is completely committed to the great shift on the planet and have been. This is what I'm here for. And I've been doing my work for 34 years, which is inner resonance technologies. And we can maybe talk a little bit more about that in a moment. I'm 75. I recently had a miracle heart attack recovery within a day. My heart was pure and clear, zero blockage. It was in Spain with the Holo movement, where I last saw Tammy Scarlett in person. So that was an amazing time and another demonstration of the miraculous nature that we carry within, especially when our hearts are open to all the love and healing prayers and the activations that we can consciously do to keep ourselves in that next level of alignment. And and so, we are magnificent beyond measure. So it's nice having my own story to share about that because I'm so healthy and hadn't seen a doctor for, I don't know, 35 years. And so it was a big surprise, but it was actually a fun journey in the ICU. I had a lot of fun in Spain, great people and wonderful
Not many
experience.
people say that. I must say,
I
not many people say
know.
I had a
I
great
know.
experience in ICU.
I know. And I wasn't scared. I just knew it wasn't my time. And I was just sort of in wonder, like, oh, wow. Yeah, really cool. Anyway, I am the mother of two daughters, both living in their area of their joy. My younger daughter is 39 with my 4-year-old grandson. Yes, he's just a beautiful, beautiful, bright, shining light. And she works with horses. And my older daughter has my 6-year-old granddaughter who is my heart as well. And they live way north Vancouver Island, way up north in the Broughton Archipelago. And she's a singer-songwriter, makes her living with music, which I'm very proud of both my girls because they're doing what they love to do. And isn't that what we're here for? Women's wellness, it's about finding our passion, being our best selves, and just enjoying life and helping others to do the same. So that's where I thrive and what I
Oh,
love.
yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we
And
can tell. Yeah. You look
yeah,
amazing. You're radiant. And you've got your four girls, like two of your daughters and two granddaughters. That's pretty cool.
yeah. Well, I actually have one grandson and one granddaughter, so
Oh,
that's nice. One of
oh,
both.
one
Just
grandson.
one-
Okay, I missed that.
Yes.
Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Well, that was a long time completion of my original thought before I got married that I have a boy and a girl, but now I have two girls and three girls and a boy, so it's all good.
That's very nice. That's nice. It's harmony in a way, right? It's a harmony in a whole different way, I think.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing. Yeah. So, hey, please tell me, you meant resonance. Resonance. Tell me again.
inner resonance technologies, because
Inner
we're
resonance technologies. Okay.
all been programmed because we've forgotten who we are as spiritual beings that has all of everything within us. And so we're all waking up to knowing that we're more than what we have had access to. And even when we know we have more than what we've had access to, we still are looking for ways outside of ourselves to trigger that inner capacity that we all carry. And the irony is that I went searching for many, many years to find out what was wrong with me. And so I wasn't getting help in any of the regular places, workshop junkie, but it was all to the greater good, greater plan that I had no clue about, as I didn't really know who I was in any stretch of our imagination. So what that did for me was give me the wide-ranging experience of all different kinds of modalities so that I could wake up the part of me that knows how to extrapolate the principles and the concepts of how everything works. So if I had found what I needed to help myself and then perhaps help the world, maybe, maybe not, then I wouldn't have had that gift within me, wake up. So
Right.
sometimes we get frustrated, pick me, I want it this now. And yet there's a rhythm, there's a purpose, there's a reason for the
Mm.
flow of our lives, and it's always perfect. Everything's always happening for us, not to us. So, do you know the principle and the word pronoia?
Pronoia. I don't think I
Well,
do. Not
well,
ringing
guess
a bell.
do you know the word paranoia? Paranoia.
Of course. You
Well,
betcha.
exactly. Well, pronoia is the opposite of paranoia. And the principle is that all of life, all of the universe has not only got our back, but is actually conspiring in our favor. And so it's like having 2020 hindsight. You know, we look back, oh, if that hadn't happened, then this wouldn't happen. And I wouldn't have met that person over there. And I wouldn't be, doing what I am and being who I am today. So that same idea that everything has a divine flow and a divine right order. And when we can get and ride, ride that surf that wave and be in acceptance and also in that place of presence, then we can be receptive to what everything is about and what our next step is. How I developed inner resonance technologies was, I kind of laugh, I sometimes call myself unconsciously conscious and I just sort of bumble along, but I guess I'm truly guided by spirit. And as we all are. And so I would call that lily pad jumping. You jump, oh, that's a bright, shiny thing over there. Ooh. And then, oh, look over here. And so you just go, follow your heart and find your bliss, as Joseph Campbell and many wise teachers have tried to share with us over the many years. So in that presence, in that moment that we especially can be in awe, then everything is available to us. It's just a frequency and it's a chemistry of our greatest self. And so I've studied a lot with a lot of great teachers. Dr. Bruce Lipton is one of my greatest longtime teachers. And I'm really blessed that he endorses my work. He also endorses the front cover of my book that I released, 11/11/11, coming up to its 13th birthday next month.
Oh,
And so, yes, and Bruce said Maureen's pioneering efforts are vital for our evolution. So that was really an amazing, recognition, and being on his website and the resources and in his later two books, Spontaneous Evolution and The Honeymoon Effect. I'm just very
nice.
blessed and very grateful for that connection. So, yes, and I studied with Nassim Haramein of the
Mm.
Resonant Science Foundation.
That's
I
your
was
necklace,
actually
isn't
in
it?
the Yes,
Is
yes.
that your
And
necklace? I knew it.
yes, that's it. Yeah, from the Resonance Project right
I
here. This
knew
is
it.
oh, yep. And so I was in the very first delegate training in 2009, Halloween 2009. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. There were 300 like-minded people that I didn't have to explain, who I am and what I do. They
Right.
already got it. So that was, a delight. That was back in '09. So, it's been a journey, and we all accumulate wisdom and information and connection, and everybody has a piece. Everybody
Right.
has a piece. Everyone. And so I love my mission of facilitating people to wake up their genius and their greatest selves and their greatest love of who they are and shine brightly in the world without even having to have this huge mission or purpose. I think that's overrated, honestly, because then a lot of people are always trying to achieve something that, they think they should be, and they don't know what that could be. And so the basic is love, isn't it? What
Mhm.
if every single person on this planet could love themselves and just even shine that love into the world? Because we know that in physics, the definition of resonance is that there is a range of harmonic frequencies that always entrains up. Did you know that nobody and nothing ever brings you down? No, because
Surprised,
you know that saying, if you want to fly with eagles, don't hang around with turkeys.
right? Yes, I
Well, the
do know
truth
that
is,
one.
it's only the turkey in you that resonates with the turkey energy, if you want to call it that. And so when there's a dissonant energy, or there's too much of a difference between, the harmonic frequencies, a bit more of a stretch, it becomes like oil and water. So if
Mhm.
one person is growing in a relationship, for example, and the other's not, and then there becomes an increasing dissonance, increasing difference of frequency, and it becomes like oil and water. And if you don't call the shots and move on into your greater good, um, then the other person does something on their end. And same with jobs, same with all the conditions in life. So we always want to be choosing ourselves. And it's not like the me generation, or it's all about me or narcissism. It's about being truly aligned. When we're truly aligned with what brings us joy, what makes us feel good. And remember Wayne Dyer, he would say, good is just God with an extra O. So we want to feel that God within us, that we want to feel good. Our only job is to feel good. Our main job, should I say, is to feel good.
Right.
From that, everything gets inspired and created and connected and arises. And so it becomes more wondrous than we could ever think about or plan, because it's so organic and there's so many surprises around every corner when you can really feel the presence of your I am and be
Right.
feeling good about yourself no matter what. And so that's like a practice of mastery, isn't it? And
Yes,
so
absolutely.
how do we do that, right? I used to have a course that I ran for a couple of years, and I'm talking about it more again. So maybe I'll get it out and dust it off and,
Oh,
yeah, put it up there.
nice.
Called Be Michelangelo, because
Oh,
the story of Michelangelo when he was asked, how did you, I mean, your work is incredible. All of your work, Michelangelo, is just breathtaking. But that David, oh, he's just another level of magnificence. How did you even do that? And he said, well, he was already in the block of marble. All I did was carve and chip away everything that wasn't him. And
right,
then I heard of that story that he had such a clear vision of all that detail in his vision of the David, that his hands just followed along. Because when we
right,
have an idea or a vision in our consciousness, that is what gets supported by all the higher frequencies. And when we get out of our own way, and when we clear all of our old limiting programs and beliefs about ourselves and others,
right,
that old thing of judgment,
right.
right?
Pointing
I'm
at me.
Oops, sorry. I wasn't meaning to point at you today, but anyway, here we are. And so it's always pointing back at ourselves, right? There's so
Right.
much going on like that in the world. And yet, this is the time of the quickening. And so we
Right.
do have access to new tools, new ways beyond having to unwind every thread and stretch it all out and vibrate it and look around at it and tie it around a few things and see how it works. No, we don't need to go through all those gyrations anymore. So I'm really blessed to know that IRT, Inner Resonance Technologies, is a tool for these times, because it's a fast track. And it kind of, I've kind of had a path of kind of like Hioki, like trickster
Mhm.
medicine. He kind of turns things upside down. You know, it's just like that old saying, if you ask me, why, I'll say, why not? And so, right? And so it's beautiful because everybody's focused on the result, because that's what we're
Right.
experiencing. That's what our body and our conscious mind is here to experience life as a
Mhm.
spiritual being. But we forgot the part that we're a spiritual being. So we're trying to fix all this, like, oh my God, I got a headache. Oh, my heart is just so tight, and I'm so upset, that person, they did this to me, and they're all in, that victim
Oh
consciousness.
yeah.
Forgotten the powerful presence of our I am, of the greater truth of love and who we really are. And that question, what would love do? Well, in the meantime, we're working through all this part first.
Right?
And
Worried so much about this outside stuff and not what's going on the inside when that's the driver. It's the
that's
driver
right.
that's going in there. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, it's really phenomenal when we do clear what's not the truth of us, which is what IRT allows us to do. So IRT basically is a formula of questions that activates and catalyzes the part of you that knows everything, because we're breathing
Mm.
in all of everything all the time, everywhere, all the time, all at once, something like that.
Right. Yep.
And yep. And
Yep.
and so our superconscious, a scientific term, I guess, for the higher self, whatever name you want to put on that aspect of your greatest self, is connected in to the all of everything that is. And so based on that, we have access to more beyond our conscious mind's ability to track, beyond our body's need to act out. Because, Bruce Lipton and many of the teachers will say, well, we're just like the radio receiving signals, like the TV playing out, the Maureen show or whatever that might be. Bruce talks
Right.
about that, and their cell phone, just receiving the signals. And so everything, the body is such a miraculous quantum supercomputer. It's
Oh yeah.
absolutely instant in its response to what's in our field. So all
Right.
the signals that are in our field that hold all of the Akashic records and more than that, all the memory field of all of the history of the planet and more, is all there. And depending on our frequency and where we're vibrating and our unresolved issues, that is what acts out, through us. And we don't
Yep.
always know why we're reacting. And so instead of just going, well, I shouldn't say just, going to meditation is beautiful because then you get into that center and that peaceful state until the next time that information hits you. And guess what? With the intensities of everything, happening on the
What's going
planet these,
on? Ugh.
oh my gosh, we're
Right.
getting squeezed big time. And
Oh
so
yeah.
it just gets harder and harder. And so let's make it easier and easier, okay? Let's make it simpler. And there's also a scientific law that for the level of complexity that's built into any particular system, there is a corresponding simplicity of access. And another way to put that is a scientific term called Occam's razor, where if you have two or more solutions for the same thing, you always go for the simplest, always. And so
Mm.
IRT has been too simple for most people for 34 years, but now people are just so tired that they're just welcoming something that's really super simple and fast and easy. Because when you create, a command into your quantum supercomputer and you create all the agreements for safe and appropriate, easy and gentle, effortless grace for instant and permanent shift for what's no longer relevant or necessary. And then you create alignment with that greater part of who you are that says yes, 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 yes. Then you allow that part of you beyond your conscious awareness. I'm going to call this the new mindless movement. I'm a big
Mindless.
announcer.
Mindless
The
movement.
mindless movement.
That's not a bad thing because we definitely have way too much mind going on.
Yeah, and what do they say? The longest trip, is that you'll ever take is from your head to your heart. So allowing is a word that's more receptive feminine, and of course the rising of the divine feminine and all of these ideas and principles and concepts of who we truly are in that essence of ourselves, has then greater potential than to um be present for the superconscious um, um, shift that is exponential, radical,
Right. And
exponential
it's
shift.
happening. It's not
Yeah.
like we can make it stop. It's going to happen.
Anyway, so what IRT allows us is to neutralize the static that's been built up, all the
Mm,
unresolved issues I kind of like to call static. And that's what aging is, because we can't get we can't receive the full signals of regenerative source energy when we have all this interference. And so I used to take pictures of people before and after sessions because they drop 10 years off their age most of the time. And also, the body is an instant responder. So this program that we all carry within us can also heal broken bones in 10 minutes doing this protocol. So
mm.
it's amazing. We kind of go, wow. But it's just like another way to wake up and remember. And we see other people doing it, so we know we can. And we don't have to
Right.
know how. We don't have to know what. It's already programmed. This is so programmed. Our bodies are incredible. Can I give you one scientific fact about the body today? Because it's just gobsmacking. And I
Sure.
just
Yes.
love to. Okay.
Yes,
People
please.
don't have to remember this. There's no test. However, we have trillions and trillions of cells. Bruce Lipton
Right.
would say 50 trillion. Nissim Haramein, Dr. William Brown of the Resonance Academy would say 100 trillion. We have trillions. That's good enough for me. And so
Right.
of the trillions of cells we have, each neuron has 100,000 potential connections. And each one of those 100,000 potential connections has 85 billion wormholes into other dimensional realities. So
That's
we are
amazing.
multi-dimensional, instant supercomputers sitting here breathing in infinite source energy. So what's wrong with the picture, right? And,
Right?
and so it's all the old conditioning, all the experiences that we see and we make beliefs about. So my tagline basically is beyond belief, creating new realities, because we are actually in charge. And the unified field quantum physics teaches that we are the commander of our own personal universe. And so we're not used to commanding, especially our
Right.
bodies, right? Uh,
Yep.
there's a lot of programming in there that limits us, or has been up until this time. Now we're opening up and we're realizing in whatever levels we're ready, and things that happen apparently to us are for us. So we give opportunity for that next level of opening up to more of our mastery and waking up more of who we really are with our inner technologies. And imagine that, years and years ago, James Twyman, often called the peace troubadour, he would take music and cross boundaries into warring countries, and has done a lot of that kind of work in the world. But oh, how many years ago was that? I took
Good
his
heart
spoon
work.
bending. Yeah, yeah, I took his spoon bending course,
Mm,
and he teaches that everybody has that facility, for telekinesis and
right.
interacting with
Yep.
physical world. And so that wasn't as a psychic trick, but it was to give power to the potential that we carry. And then he would talk about, turning guns into plowshares,
Yeah.
by disempowering or bending and shape shifting the metal in all the weapons. And
Mm,
so
what a
imagine if
great idea.
I know. Imagine if
Mm,
there was a group of how many thousands of people that maybe are the tipping point. I don't know. There was experiments done many years ago where people envisioned peace, and they actually came together and meditated. I can't remember honestly how long they meditated for, but they were meditating on peace. And there was then an unexpected ceasefire in the Middle East, which has seemed endless in our whole history. This is many years ago, and also Washington, D.C. in the summer, which was just a hot pot of violence, and just a lot of violence. Yeah, how else can you say it? Violence, and that dropped considerably for the period of time that they were meditating. So we know it's an interactive universe, and we have the power of
right.
love. And all the people that, when I had my heart attack at the Holo movement in Ibiza, Spain, they all came out from the next morning, and over 100 people sent prayers, healing prayers and love to my heart. And the next morning as well, Monday morning on the beach, for those that were left for a few days, enjoying the island. And I did my own inner work with my own IRT. And altogether, that's where the miracles live. So it takes all of us together, and we each have our individual point of power at the same time. So again, we're not dependent on anything outside of ourselves. And it's a bit of a riddle, isn't it? Because we're all part of each other, but we're all
Right.
individual expressions. And yet the breath tells us we're breathing in recycled atmosphere. We're breathing in each other. We're breathing in the
Right?
whole history of the planet in holographic particles of memory. So physically, we're one just by breathing. Isn't that just a
Right.
thought?
Just by being, just by being,
Hey, I
we're
know.
connected. I know it's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Okay,
It is.
before we forget, how can people work with you? Are you still working with
Oh,
people?
how can people work with me? Well,
Yeah,
they can contact me on my website, MaureenEdwardson.com, and send me a contact message. And I always give everybody a free session when I have the time. And always, on the website it says 33-minute free exploration. But I just love people, and when I have the time, I usually transfer that into a full complete session because it is very unique work and it is really different than what we're programmed and conditioned for. So let's have an experience and wake ourselves up, and then we know what's possible and how we want to move forward. So it's very empowering. There's nothing I do to or for people. I love that about it. Nothing wrong with having assistance. Oh my goodness, did I ever appreciate all those healing prayers and
right.
loves that my heart in Spain? We're all part of each other, and yet we are holographic. We are individually powerful with the power of the whole as well. So it's
Beautiful.
both and, right? We're here with each other, as each other, and that's why networks, the Women's Wellness Network, is so important, and especially as
Yes.
women. We've just been so busy helping everybody else. So how do we? And that was for me the heart attack. It was a wake up for my own self-care.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's so easy to just put yourself aside and worry about everybody else. But we know that it is very important to maintain us
Yeah.
first and then go out from there. We say we've got that little piece that's our own. And how can we can't shine it on anybody else if it's not polished up for you? It's got to be, shined up there
Right.
for yourself. I think it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's very important. So, is there anything else you would like to share with us before we close out for today?
Well, well, let me think. Well, I love, living on the edge of our potential. So I have finally, after a couple of years, well, after many years, but especially the last 2 years, it's been wanting to be emerged onto my website and into the world. It's a new program. I have three aspects, three main things on my front page of my website, my homepage. One is, who do you think you are? Because human, oh, I'm only human. But guess what? Hugh is another name for God.
Right?
And many, many people, I believe it's the Ekankar spiritual movement and ancient spiritual teachings as well, I found out later, all come together and chant, Hugh. And isn't that effortless? It's like an outward breath. I get all tangled up with my tongue with oh my om. And other people are way better at oming than I am. But I like Hugh because it's just so simple.
Simple. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is so
And so
simple.
guess what? A name for God. So it's right in there, human. In the same way that
Right?
Greg Braden has written that book called The God Code, that in
Right?
the DNA itself, are the codes for God within. So we are God. And
Amazing.
yeah, the most sacrilegious thing we can do is deny that.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am. I've
also
heard
the new
that stated
program.
before. I think
Yes,
that's been stated somewhere before, right? I will
yes.
be denied 3 times.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot about that part. Yes, and so the new program, excuse me, that I have coming up is regenerating teeth and gum. I've helped people in the past regrow teeth, their adult teeth had been taken out or whatever. And, and so the science is actually catching up with that as well. And they have now like the stem cell implants that they have dentum. I have a colleague and a now fully trained facilitator of IRT that's a specialist in creating products also for regenerating gums and teeth. However, again, that's an outside thing, but outside and inside together work. And so you never want to take well, I shouldn't say never, but it's better if you never take external solutions only, because then you're shutting down your own body's capacity to wake up its own ability to regenerate, because the body has its own internal stem cells. You can redirect that and regrow joints and cartilage. I've helped IRT has helped people to do that. So it's really the next level of acting and waking up who we are. So yeah, people love the idea of a tooth and gum rejuvenation program, and it's set for mid-January, and it's on my website if you want to have a
Amazing.
look there. Yeah, so
That's very
exciting,
interesting.
on that
Yeah.
next level of let's play and
Right?
what can happen, and let's just continue to wake ourselves up, and in the meantime, be that support for each other, as we're never alone, and just
Right.
knowing that there's always help, even in our deepest, darkest times, and especially when we just totally surrender into the not knowing, then all of a
Right.
sudden, bing, 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 bing.
Yeah, little connections. There you go. Connecting the dots. And next thing you know, you've got some amazing creation or a new idea, or you just feel something in a different way. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
time to tune in. It's time to
yeah, or
tune
you
in.
just bump into somebody, or you get a phone call from somebody that you haven't
Right?
heard from in 20 years. I mean, it's a magical universe, and
It
it's
really
very
is.
interactive. And once we start playing and surrendering and shifting and allowing everything that's not the truth of us just to melt away, and there is a program within us that knows how to do that. So my passion is helping people wake that up.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Maureen. That's beautiful. What beautiful work that you do. And I love that it's a little more meta, it's a little more above. It's something that's a little bit outside of the box. And there's so many possibilities. We know there's, I know, and we want to help other people know, because the possibilities are endless. They're limitless. And the things that we're going to be doing in the next few years are, I think, boggle my mind, because I can imagine, right? Some things you hear about this person doing that, or this mentor doing this thing, or somebody teaching a new thing, and it's incredible. And we keep hearing this is the best time to be alive on this planet, and all these things that are happening, and they're happening. And you know, you're
Absolutely.
you're 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 proof. You're right there saying those things, and it's incredible to me. So, Women of the Women's Wellness Network, we will put all of Maureen's information into the comment section so that you can connect with her, find out more about her ITR, and yeah, maybe her
IRT.
book. I IRT.
IRT. Oh, yes. I was
IRT.
IRT, Inner Resonance Technologies.
IRT.
And if you want to have an association, Bruce Lipton told me years ago, he said, I just love the acronym for your work. He said, because it's like the New York subway system, interurban rapid transit, because we need faster ways of getting to where we're going, he said.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
That's great.
Oh,
I
and
like
one
that.
last thing. You
Oh,
mentioned
yes.
my I was going
Yes.
to also offer a gift to everybody that listens to the call now, or whenever they listen to it on replay. And when you go to my website, maureenedwardson.com, then give me a message on my contact form, and I'll send you a complimentary copy of my book, Your Magical Evolutionary Code Unleashed, The Science of Inner Resonance.
That is amazing. How generous of you, and what a beautiful gift. Like, I'm gonna go get that myself because I want to know more. That's incredible. Well, thank you so much, Maureen. And yeah, it's been it's a huge pleasure. I've not met a lot of people that speak about Nassim, very much. And I follow Bruce, and right? I absolutely love that. I get emails about it all the time. So one day I'll have my own. I think it's amazing. So yeah, just following that work, and following, because it's a little expansive. It's something different, and it's, you know, if you take where you are and you just kind of direct yourself that way, point yourself a little bit that way, and know that, oh, that's different. It's interesting, and
Your
explore.
nose, follow your nose.
Right? Yeah, just explore, because eventually there's going to be so much information that we look back on and go, oh, wow, how did we not know? Or how did we not feel? Or all the things, right? It's just so incredible the journey that we're on, we're in midst of. And I'm very happy to be on this journey with you. Thank you
Uh,
very
thank you
much,
so
Maureen.
much. Thank
It's
you.
very lovely to meet you and find out more about you. And yeah, I look forward to getting your book. So thank you very much. And women of the Women's Wellness Network, thank you for watching and connect with Maureen. And of course, until next time, be well. Thank you,
Mhm.
Maureen.
Thank you.